Hello, everyone, and welcome to Better Motion. This is a new format that we're trying out, and the idea is to do, short interviews with some of our greatest talent here at LottieFiles, and just talk about some of the latest new releases and how they can be, how they were achieved, how they can, how they can be useful for you, and just explore some of the latest functionality that we're releasing at LottieFiles. I am Jaime Craigsoms, and I am your motion design specialist. And I'll be, the host. So usually there's nothing interesting from me. Today we're going to be Lottie's talk about the physics simulator, which is the latest plugin that we have for our creator tool. And I'm here accompanied by Naail, that is one of our developers of the feature. And, I wanted to talk to him a little bit just to figure out what's the physics simulator, how can we use it, and what can we learn from him? He can tell us some stories, give us some insights, and so. So welcome, Naail, to this first episode. You are, the guinea pig of this experiment. So, just get comfortable, ready, where nothing's going to happen to you. We're not going to slaughter you or anything today.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope not. I pulled out all the stops. Yeah, I even put some flowers behind me for, decor and everything. Yeah.
Lovely flowers.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Happy to be here.
Thank you very much, then, for joining. And all right, so let's get right into business. We recently released a physics simulator, which is a plugin that, as it names us, simulates physics inside Lottie Creator, right? But I wanted to ask you, right, what's the utility of the physics simulator? What does it work for?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit of backstory to this would be helpful, I guess. So it's like,
yeah, sure.
I'm a dev. I do have a physics background as well, but for the most part, I'm very good with the coding, developing stuff, making stuff, building stuff. But when it comes to actually doing animations, I'm bad. I'm terrible. I have zero artistic talent whatsoever. So I was trying to do some stuff, make some, things bounce around and all that. And trying to do it the classic way of, keying in the motion and all that. And it took a really long time to get there. And I was like, surely. Yeah.
I tried once to do some confetti stuff, and the confetti, you're supposed to blow it up and then falls down. That was hard to animate for sure before this.
Yeah. I was like, surely there's a better way to do it. And then it was like, I mean, how hard can it be to put in a basic physics simulation and then just keyframe it back into? It was like a weekend exploration that turned into all right, okay, this could be something useful, and here we are.
All right, so. One question there is, what's possible now? What can I do now that I couldn't do before? What does this enable in a way?
Right. So long story short, right? So if you want to have things move around, bounce off each other, before you would have to, have a feel for how, materials work, how physics works, so on and so forth. I mean, you can key it in, you can simulate it by feel, but not really get it quite right. Because it can get complicated. Things are supposed to have weights and, friction, how they respond to the air.
There are forces being applied to them. So, how do they react given the weight and the forces? I'm guessing there is some sort of gravity as well in this, or are we in space all the time?
No. You can you can configure the gravity. You can turn it on or off, or tilt things around a little bit as well if you want to. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have the most important question of this entire interview. Does it do quantum physics, or is it just Newtonian? I mean, if I grab two particles and I crash them at really high speed, will I achieve nuclear fusion?
Well, I don't know about fusion, but between you and me, right? So when we were testing this out, we noticed some strange behavior with some of the particles, slipping in between bodies and stuff, and we suspect
they were starting getting entangled and stuff.
yeah, maybe some quantum tunneling going around. So don't tell management, but I slipped in a few items on the budget to procure some equipment to see if we can test it out.
Yeah,
but let's see. I don't know if it'll get approved or not, but I'm hoping it'll slip under the radar.
That's hilarious. All right, so building something like this, I mean, I had dabbled into coding, but I can't imagine how do you code? How do you embed physics laws into this? What's the most challenging part of building a plugin like this?
Okay, so honestly, thankfully, because physics simulation in computing and computer science is it's been around quite a while, and game engines and so on and so forth, right? So thankfully, we didn't have to build anything up from scratch. Okay. We mostly had to put things together in a meaningful way that serves the use case too, right? And along the way, it was very easy to sort of lose track and be like, okay, we could also do this and this and this, and but then it got too complicated and it got too messy. So we had to make a few compromises along the way, as in so what are we actually trying to do, right? So for the actual physics simulation, we checked out a couple of libraries, couple of engines. There was Planck.js, Box2D, so on and so forth. But we settled on Meta.js because they served everything we needed and it didn't overcomplicate things, right? So it fit the bill perfectly. So we put in Meta.js to handle the physics of it.
And what does it include? Or is there anything, maybe the question is actually a slightly bit different. What I wanted to ask you is there something that is not there yet that you want to add to the physics simulator in a future version? Is there anything planned out?
I mean, if you're simulating physics, you could, like I said, you could go all out and do a whole bunch of things, but we have to,
Yeah, you got to keep it limited, of course.
Yeah. We got to keep our excitement in check. But we do have some more things. So right now, we've limited it to doing rigid body simulations, as we call it. Okay. So we have controllable rigid bodies. You can control the friction, mass, air friction, restitution, the bounciness, and some of those things, as well as some of the world properties like gravity and so on and so forth. What it doesn't do is constraints right now. You can't really tie two bodies together, which is coming in the future. We're working on that as well.
That's the nuclear fusion we were talking about.
Something along those lines, yeah. But yeah, so we're okay, let's get the basics in, get them right, and then add on features, right? So right now we have the basics in. We can do the simulation, we can do the bouncing around, we can render bodies, get the boundaries proper and right. So now we can enhance it, add, collision detection, and actions on collisions and stuff like that, and constraints to, add more rules to the simulation and so on, so that the designers can do some really cool stuff.
Nice. And that's so great. Yeah.
And to be honest, I mean, like I said, my design skills are limited. My coding skills may be up there. My design skills are way down here. So when we built this initially, I couldn't imagine what even our own designers were gonna do with it. They've done some incredible things with it. I was blown away. I was like, oh wow, you can actually do this. Wow, okay.
you wouldn't even aware. So that's what's gonna be my next question. What's the coolest use case? And I know that you have a couple of demos or animations that you can show us for that. So I don't know if you want to share your screen and kind of tell us about it, and which ones do you find really cool? And see what they're all about.
Yeah, let me run you through the very basics, right? And then I guess we can go from there. Let me just load up. So this is built into LottieFiles Creator.
So there you go.
As a plugin, right? So LottieFiles Creator obviously helps you, do motion design simply on the web. One-stop shop for all of this. Shamelessly plugging this in. But obviously, this is where the plugin is to begin with, right? So you have I've drawn a couple of ellipses, like balls here on the scene, and I can load up the plugin here, which replicates the scene in the physics world, right? So you have like the bounding boxes, which is the boundaries of the scene itself. We can turn them on or off to allow these things to like fly out of the frame if we wanted to. And then we can control some things, like gravity Y is set to 1, so that, like right now they will fall down.
Oh, there you go.
We can also turn it down like to negative so that they'll fly up.
Oh, wow. Right? Then we're flying up. Yes.
Yeah. So we can set it to 1, let's say. And then
let's keep it on the air.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. Right. And then you can set properties of these bodies themselves, either multiple or one by one. You can like make
that's
this
pretty cool.
A little bit bouncier, change the friction, make this heavier, so on and so forth, or even like make sure like some forces are applied, so that
that's pretty cool. So then they could be bouncing off and just jumping out of the way.
Yeah, so on and so forth. Yeah, right. So once this is done and it looks, like something like, okay, what you imagined it to be, you can go ahead and change like this keyframe reduction, which is essentially a feature to sort of like, you can make this insertion keep all of the granular movements in place, or you can let us optimize it a little bit and space things out so that it's easier to like tweak the animation afterwards, right? I usually like to keep it at around 50, 60, and then I can go ahead and insert it, right? Yeah, so it doesn't create.
And then I got all the keyframes for each one of these elements.
Yeah, but not too many, right? Because we did an optimization there, right? So you get the basic thing.
Cool animation there.
Yeah, I think I messed up a little bit there, but yeah, you get the idea, right? Obviously, like I said, my design skills are terrible. But if you
that's okay. That shows how it works and all the parameters. That's what we wanted to learn about. And leave to the designers, the use of it and create cool stuff.
Yeah. And then
you have some stuff there. Oh, you got some Angry Birds.
Yeah, they were able to. I don't know how they did it, but
wow, that's insane.
Yeah, and if you hop over to the LottieFiles Instagram page, you can probably find a whole bunch of examples. They keep making really interesting demos. They managed to do that.
So that's so much more natural when it's simulated, right? Than when it's done by hand. That's so cool. Also, kind of filtering by size, and I don't know if you've seen if you scroll up a little bit. Oh, those stars are pretty cool, by the way.
Yeah,
that's so nice.
Don't
have you seen Oh, you have it there. All right, let's try it out. Look at that animation there.
No, I guess this is how they did it. I wouldn't know how to do this. To be completely honest, if you asked me to do this, I couldn't do it. But the team has been doing fantastic stuff.
And if you scroll up a little bit, I wanted to show you, because the one that blew my mind the most is the one with the parachute, right? Yeah. Because what I don't understand is how the parachute works. I mean, does it add a lot of friction to the animation? What's happening there? That's so cool. I mean, it's insanely cool. Honestly,
I think they have a video for this, but do check it out. But I think what they've done is like animated in segments, right? So the initial fall, and then they added the parachute, and then did the parachute based. That makes sense. Increase the friction for that, change the direction and all, and even the leaves, right? And this, honestly,
the leaves are animated too. Yeah,
the leaves were a scary moment, Jaime. Let me tell you, because like I said. Because, like I said, right, in the world of physics simulations, you can get pretty intense. You can go really far, or you can, stick to the basics. And like when you're trying to simulate things like leaves falling through the air,
there's a lot of air friction and particles moving and a lot of stuff happening.
Because not just friction, because right now, like, we're talking about things falling in a vacuum and moving in a vacuum, right? But when you factor in things like fluid dynamics, like air currents and stuff like that, and I was like, and the designer came and asked, "Hey, can we do this?" And I was like, let's
not really, not yet.
Not yet, but but they figured it out. I have no idea how. We're gonna have to ask them. Yeah,
We're
let's
gonna have
bring
to
one of
ask
those
them, I
guys on.
guess.
Yeah, let's bring one of the designers on and ask them how they figured that out. Yeah, because I have no idea. I built the tool, but I have no idea how.
But then, how is it used? That's not on you anymore.
Well, honestly, they've been using it beyond my imagination, and it's
That's
fantastic what
incredible.
they're doing with it. Yeah.
And that's a great feeling, right? When someone is using something you built and it goes beyond your wildest expectation of how it could be used, that must feel incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me want to add more features.
That's great. Well, I mean, I bet everybody, watching is eager to have even more features, or at least to try it out. And I guess with that, I just wanted to thank you for your time, Naail. It's been great. It's been a delightful conversation. I've learned a lot. And, invite everybody watching, jump in, try Lottie Creator, try the physics simulator, play around with it. It's going to be, super cool. And with that, I think we conclude our first episode of Lottie's Talk About Physics Simulator. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, Naail, for everything and for being here. And catch you up next time.
Cheers.